Hey guys, welcome back to my beauty stash, or welcome if it is your first time here. Hello, my name is Steff. I would love to have you become part of our makeup family, so be sure to click on that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy watching. Guys, I am super excited for today's video because I am trying out a new to me indie makeup brand, but it's a brand that I know a lot of you have been really enjoying lately, and I'm talking about Blend Bunny Cosmetics. I recently picked up their latest palette, which is called the Dollhouse palette. This is a nice neutral palette while still having those fun pops of color. For me, this is a really nice take on a spring palette. So I'm going to be creating 4 spring inspired makeup looks using this palette, and I also picked up their eye brush set. So both of these things, I think I ordered them about 2 weeks ago, and I've had this sitting here for a little bit. I've even had it on display on the shelves behind me. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and film with it, but I thought we have had such amazing weather here in South Texas. It's been so sunny, so beautiful. You can hear the birds chirping very loudly outside, and I'm just so inspired to create spring eyeshadow looks, and this palette is giving me all the inspo I need. If you guys want to see the 4 looks I'm about to create, the 4 spring looks I'm about to create using the new Blend Bunny Dollhouse palette, keep on watching. Alright guys, I've already primed my eyelids using the newly reformulated Too Faced Shadow Insurance Primer, and I am so ready to dive into the Dollhouse palette. Again, this is going to be my very first experience, my very first Blend Bunny eyeshadow palette. So I'm thinking green, of course, but then I'm also thinking of these really nice like lilac tones in here. So I think I want to start off with like a pinkish lavender look. So I'm going to go in first with the shade called Baby Doll, and then we'll take it from there. And I'm super excited to be using their eyeshadow brushes as well. Let's see what we got in here. So here is the set. Those look like the perfect sizes that I'm going to need to create the look. So I'm going to go in first with the B5 brush, and I'm using the shade Baby Doll. So I like the way the shade is building up and also the way it is blending. I think it is a really pretty shade. Guys, if my makeup looks a little rough, I've been wearing it all day. I'm just getting home from work. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, I'm going to add a little bit of this shade right here called Hold Me. And I'm going to be using the B4 brush. I'm just going to blend that right here. I think I'm going to leave this as a very light look. Well, we'll see. Kind of pastel, you know. I'm trying to see if I can, you know, get used to seeing myself in pastel shades. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of Baby Doll. Now I'm gonna go in with this shade right here called Rouge, and I'm gonna use the B1 brush. Adding a little bit more of the shade Hold Me. Now on a damp Rephr 21, I'm going to go in with the shade called Pretend. I do feel like I'm getting a little bit of fallout with that. I don't know why my camera is, well, it's not the camera, it's this specific lens doesn't like to focus sometimes. Yeah, this is exactly the look I had in mind. Like one of the first looks that came to mind when I was thinking about this eyeshadow palette. Now, I want to do a little bit of green on the lower lash line. So I'm going to go in with the shade right here. This one is called Figure. And I'm going to use the B2 brush. Now with the same brush, I'm going to go in with this shade right here. This shade is called Madame. I'm keeping that really close to the lash line. Now I'm going to add a little bit of the shade right here. This one is called Chantilly. I'm going to use that on a damp Rephr 03. Very spring colors. I feel like they're very spring colors. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of the shade right here, Tulle, on the same Rephr 03. I'm not going to spray it. I'm just going to apply that. Oh my goodness, look at that. Wow, that's beautiful. Amazing. Amazing first impression, Blend Bunny. I'm loving this. I can see why so many of you have raved about this palette. And you've asked me, are you getting the Dollhouse palette? Are you getting the Surge palette? Are you getting anything from Blend Bunny? And, you know, at that time, I think I just had a lot of stuff going on. So I wasn't able to, but now I'm able to. Now I have a minute to breathe. And wow, I thought this was going to be the perfect palette to welcome in springtime with. So I'm going to finish this look off camera and then I'll be right back to show you the completed look number 1. All right, guys, so here's the completed look number 1. I didn't add eyeliner to the top lash line. Instead, what I did is I went in with this shade right here called Plume, and I just used, what brush should I use? This one right here. This is the Rephr 23. You see how tiny it is? And I just use that to smudge along the top lash line. And I love the way that looks because it's not like a harsh line. It's not a liquid liner. I wanted to keep this look very light and airy. And then for the lower waterline, I went in with this new one from NYX. This is the Epic Smoke Liner, and this one is in the shade Sage Sparks. Love the way this look turned out. The mascara that I will be using throughout today's video is the Maybelline Sky High Mascara. So love this, perfect. This is the first look totally the way I envisioned it, and I thought it was so easy to work with this eyeshadow formula, and I think the shimmers are amazing. The matte shades that I've tried have been really good too. So let's move on to the left eye. Let's start creating our second look. And I mean, I'm seeing some nice pink shades in here, so we might do something pink. That way they can kind of coordinate with one another. Okay, so for this next look, I'm going to start off with this shade right here. This one is called Undress, and I'm just going to place that all over the transition area, and I'll be using the B5 brush. With the same brush, I'm going to go into this shade right here. This one is called Vintage. These shadows are blending out so well. So well. And they're buildable. You know, that's what I like. A lot of the shades, like in the first 3 rows, let's say first 2 rows, they're really light shades. So you do have to build them up a bit, but it keeps getting darker and darker as the rows go down. I'm going to clean that brush off, and I'm going to go back with a little bit of Undress. Now add a little bit of Vintage back. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of this shade right here. The shade is called Fasten. And I'm just gonna use that like on the outer portion, and I'm gonna go in with the E1. All right, now for the lid, for a shimmer shade, I really want to go in with this one right here called Little Sister. I'm taking that on a damp Refer 21. I'm going back in with the shade Undress. Okay, now for the lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with this shimmer shade right here. Look at how pretty that one is. That one is called Dress Up. And I'm taking that on a damp Refer 26. Now I'm gonna clean off that brush and I'm gonna go into the shade Undress again. Using that shade quite a bit, it comes in handy, a light shade like that. I'm gonna bring that in here as well. All right, now for an inner corner highlight, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, the white one. It's called Lace. And this is a damp Repro 3. Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay, I need to remove some of that. Wow. Was not expecting it to be that blinding. Adding a little bit more of Dress Up. I'm gonna go in, let's see, I'm gonna pick some of this shade up with my finger. This is the shade Little Sister that I have up here. Love that. Okay, so I'm gonna add some eyeliner, touch up the mascara, and I'll be right back to show you this completed look number 2. All right, guys, so here's the completed look number 2. I did the same technique with the upper lash line that I did over here on the right eye, and I went in with this shade right here called Fasten. It is the shade that I used in the outer corner, and I use that to line the lash line. There's something about using a shadow that just really softens the look instead of using an eyeliner, and I think it's the perfect technique for spring, just to use some of your deeper shadows as an eyeliner. Totally just, it changes up the look. It makes it a little bit lighter and not as heavy, not as dramatic. And I think for spring, we think lightness, we think airy, and I don't know, I'm just doing that. So don't be surprised if I do that technique for the other 2 looks. I feel like this deeper row in the palette down here, this second to the bottom row, really lends itself for using the shades as eyeliners instead of just straight up shadows. So I don't know if that was the premise behind that row or whatnot, but it's working perfectly as eyeliner. And let's see, for the lower waterline, I went in with this one from Natasha, Denona. This is the Macro Tech eye crayon, and this one is in the shade Burgundy. And of course, some more Maybelline Sky High mascara. And these are the 2 completed looks. Love them. Love them. Like, this is maybe a little bit more smoky, but still a spring smoky eye. And this is just really fun, kind of whimsical. I love it. Look, pastels. Pastels. I'm trying to embrace the pastel trend. Gosh, I don't want to remove these. I don't want to remove these. I'm thinking maybe I will finish this video up tomorrow. I don't know. No, I should probably finish it today. Let me sadly wipe off these 2 looks, but I will be right back so we can start creating 2 more. All right, guys, let's start creating look number 3. I did change camera lenses, so if it's not as zoomed in as it was for the first 2 looks, I apologize, but that lens just gets out of focus too much. That's why I don't use it too often, but you know, bear with me on these next 2 looks. So I want to do something with definitely this shade right here and maybe even this shade up here. Let's see. So I think what I'm going to do, this might turn out a little too dark, dark, but let's just try it out. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, and I'm gonna apply that. The shade is called Cinched, and I'm gonna apply it all over the lid, and then I'm gonna put Imaginary, which is that purple shade right below it. I'm gonna put it all on top of it. So let's see how that's going to go. I'm gonna be using a Gain Beauty EO2. And I'm just gonna pack this shade all over the lid. Now on a clean B1, this is one of the Blend Buddy brushes, I'm just gonna lightly blend out the edge. All right, so that got dark and smoky really quick, really quick. Let me pick up Imaginary with my finger. That is beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna use a damp brush to apply that. I'm using a damp Morphe M124. Love that shade so much. That is beautiful. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with this blue shade up here. This one's called Glass Eyes. And I'm gonna get some with my finger. And let's see, I'm gonna do that on the inner portion. Oh, wow. Yeah, that is beautiful. I'm gonna use the same Morphe brush, and I didn't spray it. That's stunning. Look at that, that's beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna keep it simple for the lower lash line. I'm gonna try just using Imaginary. Let's see what that looks like by itself on the lash line. I'm using a damp Rephr 26. Well, this will be your going out. Your going out look in the springtime. I'm gonna add a little bit of Glass Eyes right there. Oh, that's so pretty. Let me add some eyeliner and I'll be right back to show you this completed third look. All right, guys, so here's the completed look number 3. Same technique, using the shadow as a liner, and I went in with this one right here, the black. It's called Stitched on the upper lash line, and for the lower waterline, I went in with this one from e.l.f. This was from their Cookies and Dreams collection. This is the No Budge Shadow Stick, and this one is in the shade Chill Zone. Lower waterline. Love it. This will be your evening springtime look. Did come out a little bit darker than I guess what I was expecting it to, but I still love it. I love these shades together. Let's jump over to the left eye and start working on look number 4. Okay guys, so for look number 4, I want to use the shade. I think I'm going to place this all over the crease. And then go in with maybe this shade and this shade over here. So let's start with that. The shade I'm going to start with is called Plastic. And I'm taking Plastic on the B5 brush from Blend Bunny. I'm gonna go in with this shade. The shade is called Mannequin. Taking Mannequin on a damp Morphe M124. Now I'm going to go in with this shade over here, this gold shimmer. This one is called Pin Curls. Same damp Morphe M124. All right, now for the lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here called Marionette. And I'm taking that on a damp Refer 26. I think I sprayed the brush too much. All right, now I'm gonna go in with the shade Madame, and I'm just gonna show you how I line the top lash line. I mean, it's really very simple. And I'm using the Refer 20, what was it again? The 23. You just wanna get a really little pencil brush and just start applying. You can do a wing if you want to. Like this Refer 23 is the perfect size for doing this type of work. And it just softens the look while still giving the lash line some definition. Now for the inner corner, I'm gonna try the shade Porcelain. Let's see how light that is, and it is a matte shade. Oh yeah, that's good. I think I'm gonna do the shade up here on the brow bone as well. All right, guys, I'm gonna add those finishing touches and I'll be right back to show you the fourth and final look. All right, guys, here's the fourth and final look with the Dollhouse palette. Spring has sprung, I think. What do you guys think? For the lower waterline, I went in with this one from Maybelline. This is the Lasting Drama Waterproof Gel Pencil. This one is in the shade Striking Copper. I don't know if this one's still available. I thought I was using an LA Girl because I have one similar to this. So if I can't find the Maybelline, I will have the LA Girl one linked. And then, of course, some more Maybelline Sky High Mascara. And this is the completed look. I think this is the most neutral look of the four. And then this one is definitely the most dramatic look of the four. So let me go ahead and wrap up today's video, share with you my thoughts on the Dollhouse palette, and just hopefully I've given you some inspiration for your next spring makeup look. Alright guys, so after creating 4 looks with the Dollhouse palette, I'm excited. I'm excited to try more from Blend Bunny. I thought that the matte shades were absolutely beautiful, and I loved like the gradient here. Like it goes from light to medium to deep, and then even the shimmer shades, because if you look at the top row, they're lighter shimmer shades, and then the bottom row is definitely deeper. And I like that we have more matte shades than we do shimmer shades. I think that's gonna help out the versatility of the looks a lot. But guys, you really only need to use maybe 2 shades to get your next spring eye look. And most definitely think about doing what I did for all 4 looks, using the shadows, in particular this row, as your eyeliner. I think that's definitely going to help to soften up the looks and just make them more spring-like, I guess, because when I think spring, I think of course greenery, I think of yellow, I think of blue skies, sunshine, and just light and airy types of shades. And while I know this one is into light and airy, this is your more dramatic evening springtime look because it's still incorporating the blue and of course some of the purple. This could be a day at the beach over here, but I have to say, if I'm gonna be ranking my looks, definitely the first 2 looks were my favorite. I think look number 1 was my favorite out of all 4. But let me know, what was your favorite look that I created? What has your experience been with Blend Bunny Cosmetics? I have to say that the makeup brushes that I used, the little set that I got from them, really excited for them. These are all perfect sizes. It was a set of 5. But they're all the perfect sizes. They're those small detail brushes that you're just gonna find yourself reaching for over and over again. And guys, experiment with eyeliners too, like in the waterline. Maybe you picked up this one from e.l.f. from the Cookie and Dreams collection. Maybe you have some other fun LA Girl eyeliners, NYX, ColourPop, that are maybe more pastel, or maybe they're more primary colors, but try doing that. Maybe go easy on the eye look and just put up fun pop of color on the lower waterline and call it a day. That's always a great way to experiment with color. And what I like about this particular palette is that they did color in a very neutral way. So I'm gonna give Blend Bunny Cosmetics 2 thumbs up. I am so excited to finally be trying out this brand. I am sorry it took me a while, but when this was released, I was definitely overwhelmed with product that I had already ordered and stuff. So better late than never on on the Blend Buddy train, but I'm definitely going to be trying more from them in the future. And let me know, what are some of your favorite Blend Buddy cosmetics products? Sound off in the comments down below. I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. You all have a great day or night, wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink your water. Cheers. And I will see you all very soon. Bye.